welcome back to my channel. This is Lucy in Colorland, and today I'm recording my very first coloring tutorial for you. And we're gonna work with Secrets of the Sea by Millie Marotta. And as I mentioned before, we will try to replicate this fish to the right part of the page. And for that, we will need some water-based markers, a bunch of colored pencils, and some gel pens for decorating. And I just want to make a very quick note that you don't have to have the exact brand of art supplies I'm going to use, or to use the exact color, because this is more a tutorial but not a strict guideline, and this page doesn't look really realistic, so we can use our imagination and play with colors. But I just wanna inspire you to use some techniques and to color more in Millie Marotta's books. So this is just a video for inspiration. And the first part of this video is to create a base with water-based markers for some elements of this fish. And you may know that Crayola Super Tips, they don't have color names or numbers on them, so I created my own color chart. So I will show you my color swatch here, so you will be able to compare your art supplies and colors with this one. So we need a few Crayola Super Tips, and I also used a couple of Tombow dual brush pens. So now let me show you which colors we need for this coloring tutorial. Okay, so the first color is this bright yellow, and this is number 4 in this row, but it's exactly the same color as this one, so it's something like lemon yellow or bright yellow. The next one is this kind of sunset yellow or orange yellow, and this is number 23 in this row. So as you can see, something in between bright yellow and orange. The next one is this kind of yellow ochre, number 27 in this row, and this is something in between yellow and brown. The next color is just a darker shade of the previous one, and this is number 28 here. Then we need a shade of blue, and I used this one, number 66 in this row, and I don't know the exact color name, but this is could be China blue from Prisma color chart or ocean blue, yeah. But again, you don't have to use the exact color. The next one is number 7, but it looks like this, so I would call it orchid purple, maybe. And the last one is pale pink. This is number 71 in this row. Yeah, and I also used a couple of Tombow dual brush pens, and the first one is this jet blue, but it could be indigo. And the last one is this mist purple, very light shade of blue violet or something like that. So that's all water-based markers we need for this fish. And now let's move to coloring. Okay guys, so we've just completed the first stage of our coloring process. We based some elements with water-based markers. And here I have a very quick question for you. So this time I recorded the entire process of basing, but I don't think this is very helpful for you. So maybe for the next tutorial, we can start from this point. I can show you a picture with water-based markers base, and I can explain what markers and what colors I used for each element. Yeah, so we don't have to waste our time watching just the entire process of basing, because this is just one layer of each marker for some elements. So please let me know what do you think about this. And now we are going to the next stage of our coloring process. This is shading and highlights using colored pencils. So I will explain everything in detail. I will show you what colored pencils we need and which colors. Yeah, so let's get started. Okay, so usually I color from left part of the page to the right and from the top to bottom. So the first element we are going to shade is this fin, and for that I'm gonna use my Prisma's color number 330, but this is like any other magenta color, so you can use another pencil. And for shading, I'm gonna use like a different level of force for colored pencil. And to start, let's just mark the darkest part of the shading of the shadow. So this will be the darkest part. And now I'm just barely touching the paper. I'm just creating the first level just to mark the area. And now I press my colored pencil harder for the darkest part of the shadow. And then just adding another layer. I'm creating a very smooth gradient. So I'm just barely touching the paper. And here I press my colored pencil harder. Yeah, and we need to repeat this for each of those elements. So now just barely touching the paper, I'm creating the area. Now I press my pencil harder for this part, and again just barely touching. I'm adding another layer here. Yeah, and now we have to repeat this for each element. Just let me show you one more time. Press harder, and now very light touch. Now I need some bright yellow color. I'm using my Prismacolors color number 317, but this is like bright yellow. And for these parts which are complete now, I'm gonna add this highlight here. So for this light part, I'm just adding this bright yellow color. And now to make those shadows even deeper, I'm gonna use Prismacolors color 370, and this is like dark purple. So I'm just wanna add one more layer for this darker part of our shadow. Press harder here and just a little bit here. Yeah, so this is the approach I usually use. You may ask me why we need this water-based markers base here. It really helps to save your pencils. You don't have to add 5 layers of each to create very smooth gradient, but using water-based marker base, you will save some pencils, and you will get very bright colors in the end. So yeah, now we are just we have to repeat this pattern for each of those elements, and it will be done. Okay, so we completed our first element on this page, and now using pretty much the same technique, I will go step by step to the next element. If there will be something new to explain, I will do that. For purple part of the fin, I need my Faber-Castell Albert Dürer, and this is 249 mauve, and this is for the darkest part of the shadow. Again, I barely touch the paper here, and I press harder here. Then to add highlights, I'm using Prismacolor number 994, and this is Process Red. So I'm just adding this bright color here. And to make it more visible, I'm adding Prismacolor White. Just here, I'm just adding the line. Yeah, and now we need to repeat the same pattern for each element. Now we need the same colors for this part of the fish, for this fin. So yeah, I just repeat the same approach here. All right, so we completed these two parts of the fish, and now we are moving to its tail. And here I'm gonna use Process Red Prismacolor 994. And for this part, I'm gonna use this kind of, stroke effect. So I'm just marking this dark part here, and then I just do something like that, some random strokes, and I repeat the same for all these gaps here. So something like that. Yeah, and we can add a few layers. Yeah, something like that. Very random strokes here. The next color I'm gonna use is my Faber-Castell Albert Dürer, and this is Purple Violet 136. And I'm gonna do the same strokes, but for the other part of the tail. So that's why I flipped my book, and now I'm just marking the end of the tail, and here I'm doing the same. But for this part, I'm leaving this dark end because I'm gonna use another color here. So this is like for more smoother gradient. And now I need this Prismacolor Violet Blue 933, and now I'm trying just to make those shadows deeper. So another layer here and shorter strokes. And the final pencil here, this is Apple Green Prismacolor 912, and this is for yellow part of the tail. So from this end, I'm doing the same very soft touch strokes, just to make it, I don't know, a little bit funnier. Not just plain color, but some kind of shading here. Then using my white Prisma, I'm just wanna add just a few, again, random strokes to highlight this central area. Yep. Okay, so we start with this part of the fish. Its belly, maybe. Sorry, I don't know the correct names for the parts of the fish. And for that, we need Prismacolor's color 356 or some kind of very light purple shade of colored pencil, maybe lilac or something. And we are going to create this kind of gradient from white to purple, and for that I'm trying to mark the area, so a very, very soft touch of this pencil just to mark where the white part starts. We don't have to use it here very properly, just to mark this area. It's very, very light color. A little bit more pressing on the pencil here. Now I'm gonna switch pencil to 370, and this is kind of dark purple. And now I'm trying to create some shading. So I start from this ends, and now a very, very light touch to this area, and a little bit more pressing to the end. Now I'm gonna use the same 356 or lilac just to go one more time through this area to make it smoother. So I'm coloring over this dark purple. Yeah, and very, very soft touch here. And now I'm using my Faber-Castell Albert Dürer Mauve 249, and I'm just trying to make those shadows deeper. And white Prisma for this edge, and again I'm going over the other pencils just to make this smooth effect. So yeah, this is kind of technique I usually use to create gradients. So a couple of layers, and it looks very nice. Yeah, and now we just need to continue working the same way to this edge of the belly. Sorry guys, I just realized I forgot to color this part of the fish, so I used the same blue Crayola marker and colored this little part. And now we are going to create a gradient for the body of the fish, and for that we need 5 pencils. So I'm gonna use 3 that already were involved. So the first one is Prismacolor 330, and this is kind of magenta. Now number 317, and this is bright yellow or even sunset yellow. The next one 370, and this is kind of dark purple, and I need to add a few more. So darker shade of purple, it's 331 Prismacolor, and this is maybe dark cherry or something from Prisma Premiere series. And the last one is number 404, and this is maybe yellow chartreuse, Prisma 1004. Okay, so I'm gonna use my Scholar series for that. And now as you can see, we have this gradient here, and for that I'm gonna use my magenta color, and again using very soft touch, I'm just trying to map the area, and this is maybe a little bit more than half. Okay, great. Now I'm gonna use my bright yellow or sunset yellow, and here I'm leaving a little bit space on the edge, and again using very soft touch, and here I'm covering a part of that magenta color, but I'm still using very soft touch. Now I'm gonna use my dark purple, and we start making the shadow deeper. Now I go to this 331 and I make those shadows more deeper. I'm coming back to dark purple, and I'm going to magenta. It looks pretty good now. Now I'm gonna use my bright yellow or sunset yellow and make it brighter. And at last, this 4004 for the edge. Magenta just to make it even more smoother. Yep, I think we are good. So this is the way I created that gradient. So we just need to continue to this part of the fish, and it will be done. So I believe we created pretty decent gradient, and yeah, it looks very nice. And now we are moving to these blue parts. Okay, now we are going to color these pieces of the fish skin and this kind of lines here. So for that we need Prismacolor violet blue, it's 933, and we are using the same approach as usual. I'm mapping the edge of the piece here, and then very soft touch to map the area of the shading, and a little bit more pressure to make it deeper. Now I need Faber-Castell Mauve 249 to make this shadow deeper, just a little bit. And the next pencil, Faber-Castell Sky Blue, it's 146, and this is for highlight. Yeah, something like that. Just a little bit of violet blue here. Yeah, and now we have to repeat the same approach for each of these pieces. Yeah, so we need to repeat the same for all those pieces, and for these lines again. Okay, I've just completed this part of the fish, and now you don't really have to do that, but if you are obsessed with details as I am, I'm gonna use my dark indigo, number 157, and I'm going to create some kind of shadows for these parts. And for those little gaps, I'm using just any light blue pencil, just to add some kind of highlights there. Okay, now let's color this yellow part, and for that we need apple green. It's Prisma color 912. Okay, now olive green, it's 911. And Prismacolor Scholar 404, or this could be, let me check, yellow chartreuse. And the last touch of this color, sanguine, I don't know how to pronounce it, sorry. This is 188 Faber-Castell. Okay, we are done with this part, and now we are moving to those transparent or light fins. All right, so now we are working on this fins and this part, and for that first we need this very light yellow. It's number 4 or 4 Prismacolors color. And here I'm gonna use this stroke technique. So from this light edge of the fin, I'm just doing this kind of strokes. Now I need apple green, number 912, and I'm doing another layer of strokes, and again very random strokes here. Okay, looks nice. Now this Faber-Castell Mauve 249, and now I'm gonna flip the page like this, and I'm coloring this edge first, and now again I'm doing this strokes but in this direction. Like that. And now Prismacolor white, just to blend everything here. And for this part of the fin, I'm gonna use my slate gray Prismacolor 936, and I just want to create a very light shadows here. Okay, that's nice. And a little bit later we'll use Sakura white or any other gel pen or acrylic marker to cover all those black lines here for this fin. And the same technique I'm gonna use for this one and for this part of the fish. So darker shades from this side, in this case from this side, and light colored pencils for the edges. Okay, we are almost there, and the last part we need to color is this head. So let's start with olive green. It's 911 Prismacolor. Okay, great. Now we need Faber-Castell burnt sienna 283, and this is for shadows. Maybe a little bit more olive green here. Okay. Yeah, that's better. And now I need lemon yellow. It's Prisma 915 for highlights. Nice. And now again Faber-Castell burnt sienna 283 for this bottom part. And I'm gonna use this Caput Mortuum violet. It's 263 Faber-Castell to make this shadow deeper. Okay, that's nice. And now let's work on the eye. And for that we need dark indigo Faber-Castell for this outer part of the eye. Now I need this sanguine 188 Faber-Castell, and I'm doing the same, like a border, but for the inner part of the eye. Caput Mortuum violet 263. To make it deeper, I mean the shadow, to make it deeper. Okay, that's nice. Now I need white for this part. And black, and black for this part. So I'm going around and I leave this area a little bit in the center, and I add a very little of white here. Yeah, here we go. We have an eye, and yeah, we just finished our shading and highlights. Okay guys, so we are on the final stage of our coloring process, and I call this stage decorating. So as you can see, we still have a few elements to color, and I used my Pentel gel pens. It's hybrid series. So the first one is this one, and colors are violet and metallic blue, and I use it for this part and for this and for this. Yeah, and another Pentel pen, the same series hybrid. Whoops. Okay, just trust me, please. And this is orange plus metallic yellow, and I'm gonna use them for these dots. And another pens we need here, or you can use your acrylic markers or whatever white materials you have. So I'm gonna use my Sakura Jelly Roll number 10 and 8, and we need them to cover black lines for these fins and for this part of the head. Yeah, everything else you can skip because it looks very nice even now. But what I'm gonna do, I want to use a few Sakura Moonlight gel pens to cover some of black lines. For example, I'm gonna use this blue, like pastel blue, for this blue elements, just to add this kind of highlight line to the edges. Then this Moonlight yellow for these elements and to highlight the spine here. Then this like lilac maybe color for these purple elements, again to add more highlights, and this kind of, I don't know, ochre color for fish head. Yeah, but this is up to you. You don't have to do that. It looks very nice now, and you don't have to add any more highlights. So now let's start with covering black lines for these fins, and I'm using Sakura Jelly Roll number 10. these parts, and now I just want to add one more thick line to the fish belly, again just to highlight this white part. Everything else is really optional, but I want to show you what I usually do to highlight some elements. So now I'm gonna use this lilac moonlight sakura, and I'm gonna highlight this purple elements just a little bit. Now the same approach, but for blue elements. Now moving to the head, I'm using this yellow ochre. For our eye, just let's add this bright yellow highlight here, and a couple of white dots, bigger one and smaller. Now this bright yellow for yellow part of the fish. Okay, and the last part of decorating is our shiny gel pen. So the first one is violet and metallic blue. And the final touch is this orange and metallic yellow for those dots. And yay! Congratulations! We completed our first coloring tutorial. Okay, coloring friends, we've just completed our first color alone, and let's see what we have here. Yay! What a beautiful page we created together, and I really love how vibrant these fish are. And yeah, now we just need to use our imagination and some of those techniques I used and complete everything around, and it will be done. So the idea of this video was just to share some of my techniques I usually use in my coloring hobby, And again, I just want to remind you that you don't have to use the same brands of art supplies or the exact colors. Now you know how to use your art supplies and how to apply those techniques to your coloring pages. Yeah, so just use your imagination and experiment. Yeah, so I hope that was useful information for you. This time I tried to explain everything in detail, but I don't think that I have to do that on my next videos. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for your patience during that long coloring process. I hope you enjoyed this coloring tutorial, and I will see you on the next ones. Bye for now.